Welcome to Fallen Lands. This is an upcoming game for GameFound, and it is the second edition that was meant to be finished in 2022. The game is still on laidback. I built the book, Rulebook, from the simple. You can simply download it from Fallen Dominion website. I'm not sure what this leads to, probably the URL or maybe some soundtrack. That would be really cool. The first edition was in 2017, I think, and there are many videos about the gameplay. And Fallen Land is a random narrative generating board game in a post-apocalyptic USA. And the second edition is an even more random narrative generating game that encompasses Mexico and Canada as well. So in this series of videos I'm going to dive into the board game, rulebook, and the scenario books and all the other books, to give you an idea if you should let back it, or if you should seek it out on the secondary market. There are, as I said, there are no working prototype copies. That games are being printed. That's the latest news from June. So it's now July 2023. So what you can do already is to have, I'm not sure if this is, how do you say, cost effective, but if you work on an office where nobody tracks the printing costs, then you can simply do as I did, print out the sheets from the second edition rulebook. You can also print out the post-apocalyptic board game files. Note that the original game, as the YouTube videos showed, print this out in A5, so half this size. I realized this later, but this means that you have nice large text. So depending on old eyes or something, you can also print it out in A4. Next up is the Fallen Land post-apocalyptic board game scenario book that I built, as I showed earlier. This is a really nice book, and use Japanese stitching to stitch the inner parts together, as always. So you can see here the stitches. This keeps the things together, and then you use bookbinder glue to fold the back, the flap, and then the front flap. And the reason that there is a white here is that there isn't much to smuggle on the outer sides, because the page markers are far to the right or to the left. But you can get enough as you can see here, you can also scrape off a millimeter to make indentations. So if I were to make it another time, then I would make it even more nicely. There is, next to the scenario, the rulebook, the scenario book for the version 1.1 version, and the second edition 1 version. Also post-apocalyptic board game Quickstart. I also made a book for it because it reads nicely. Then there is the Fallen Land post-apocalyptic board game for Journey into Darkness card list. Not sure how accurate this is for the second edition. I also had a second copy for the second edition rulebook because, well, I had printed this out twice. It's the same as the other one. When you're playing with multiple people, you can pass it around, so why not print it out if it is for free anyway. And here also you could scrape off a little bit, a few millimeters, but it's good enough. And finally, last but not least, spent yesterday with the setup and build instructions of the Fallen Land legacy stuff. This was quite a complicated thing, and I'm going to discuss this first. I thought first that I would make a booklet out of it, so it has the outer flap a bit longer, and the others, well, you can decrease the size, the width as much as you want. But this consists of several files, and it expects you to use a lot of envelopes. These envelopes I will discuss in the next video, how to build them, because I have several questions and I hope to find the answer in the instructions, and otherwise, well, we can also decide to not use it. These faction strips, I believe that Regulators, Shreveport Brotherhood, Highwaymen, Sons of Neptune, Federalists, Coalition of the Black Angel, and Sigma Corporation, and Enclave of Terra, and Syndicate are all from the base game. There's also an expansion called the Descendants. I'm going to check the rulebook for references for the Descendants, because the Descendants, to buy the Descendants does not sound all that attractive to me. And these are also parts of the legacy variants. And I believe that you should print out this page 1, Dawn of a New Era, as a single page, not double-sided, because if you do it double-sided, then Rising Madness will be on the back of build of a new area, and you want to put that on the envelopes, which I'll explain later. Then you have also the legacy journal of Fallen Land. There is a town instruction booklet, a file. So there's a single page. So if you have friends or families that you can force or coerce to play this game, then this page should be multiplied, and everyone should. I think everyone should have this file, because you decide here. But I'll explain it later in greater detail. But this though begins the personal journey of Major, name to be filled in. I shall administer truthfully record the bizarre and yes, even terrifying events that I've witnessed over these many years. To be both accurate and forthcoming, though I fear something like declaration for the major. Mayor, and here what faction you played and what final ranking, etc., and over the course of 20 games. So this is an excellent way to record your legacy progress. And finally, we have the first player sheet, which is highly recommended if you have more than one player. Make at least 2 copies of this, but I intend to buy and play the Fallen Lands board game for solo versions. So I hope you'll sit tight and like and subscribe. And if you don't subscribe, this channel was not for monetary reasons. I don't need the money. It's just for sharing the interest. Okay, bye for now.